Hi guys, and welcome back to Journey of Footsteps on this beautiful sunny day. In this video I'd like to show you my morning routine. Let's get in the video. Productivity, or how to make the most of your day. Something that I've been thinking about a lot recently, and since going back to university and going back to work, my time to be able to try and fit everything in has got shorter. But something I was looking into during the lockdown a lot was morning routines. So I was looking at things on the internet, reading things in books, looking at YouTube videos, and there were some common things that people were talking about and people were doing every morning to set them up for a good start, get their day going, and get it going in a positive and productive way. So this is my morning routine. Some of the things I do are personal to me, like my martial arts training, but this could be replaced by basic training of a sport that you do, or maybe a hobby, or just reading a book, or something that you like doing that you want to do every day, so that you either improve or that you make sure you're doing it. Overall though, my morning routine is like a culmination, if that's the right word, of everything that I've taken from these videos and from the books and from what I've read and seen to try and get the best morning routine and to get as many of those important things in as possible. So I hope you find this useful. I hope you can pick at it like I did with the other videos and try some things out and see how you get on. My first top tip: place your alarm clock somewhere high up so you have to stand up out of bed to turn it off. This is going to stop you from turning over and hitting the snooze button. Be productive from the get-go. Make your bed. This showing the night's end and the start of a new day. It's really important to rehydrate after sleeping, so top tip number 2, drink some water. After laying in bed all night, we can often feel stiff when we wake up in the morning. So, tip number 3, spend a little time just loosening off your joints. Taiso means exercise in Japanese. In Japan, it's common practice for people at home or in the office to follow a morning routine. I follow this Taiso on YouTube. I'll leave the link in the comment section below. Next up, I do my bodyweight exercises. For this, I use the Fitify app. It's a great app where you select your workout and the time, and then it basically makes you sweat. I like it because I can select what body part I'm going to work that day, and then not have to think about a routine. Next up, I do my basic movements for my martial arts practice in Aikido and Kendo. The morning is a great time to practice the basics of whatever martial art or sport or hobby you have, and it really helps you to switch on too. Once I've finished up with my exercises, I run through a series of stretches. These always feel really good in the morning. Don't panic, I haven't fainted. After I've finished my stretches, I work through a breathing style created by a man called Wim Hof. Basically, you take in a lot of oxygen and then hold your breath. This puts your body into stress, but has been scientifically proven to be super beneficial. Again, I will leave links in the description below. I also really recommend his app, which you can download from the App Store. It gives you instructions on how to do the practice, and you can do guided breathing with Wim Hof himself. And now it's time for breakfast. Whoop whoop! So normally in the morning I have porridge with blueberries, raspberries and maple syrup. Lush. Top tip number 4, and that is, if you do want to try having porridge in the morning, I tend to leave the oats in the water overnight because they just seem to taste nicer and softer, just overly much better. So top tip number 4, leave your oats in the water in the saucepan overnight. It also makes things a little bit easier in the morning. While my porridge is warming up on the stove, I stick the kettle on and boil my water for my coffee. At the moment I'm using a French press just because it's so much easier. I did go for a stage of doing drip coffee, which is really nice, and it's a nice feeling when you spend a bit of time, you know, making your coffee. It just tastes a bit nicer. But the French press, it works just as well, and it just fits in with my routine so much easier. So I put about 3 teaspoons of coffee into the cup, and then I add water. I don't add the water straight after it's boiled, though you might notice in the video that I flick the top of the kettle up to kind of let the water cool off a bit quicker, so that I don't put boiling hot water into the coffee and burn the granules. I love blueberries and I love maple syrup. Ooh yeah. Okay, so the porridge is nearly ready. I usually cook my porridge for about 4 minutes, or until kind of all the water's been soaked up. And whilst that's finishing off, I make my special super water. This recipe I got from Darren O'Lean's book, which I showed in the previous video. So I've added Himalayan pink salt, or a pinch of, and a pinch of cayenne pepper, or cayenne pepper, however you want to say it, and then I add a splash of lemon juice. This is meant to be really good for getting your stomach ready for eating. And don't forget, drink it through a straw, so this protects your teeth. Next up, I put the water into my coffee, so by now it's cooled down a little bit, so it's not going to burn the granules, and I leave it in there for a few minutes just while I finish off making my breakfast. Ta-da! Vitamins. Well, some people say they're a good thing, some people say they're a waste of money. Personally, I would rather take them and hopefully feel the benefits in the future. So I take vitamin D, especially during the winter when there's lack of sun, vitamin B12 because we tend to be deficient in that from our diets, and glucosamine sulfate with chondroitin, if I even say that correctly. This is meant to be really good for joints, and I tend to have a bit of trouble with my knees, so I take that to hopefully prolong the life of my knee joints. Top tip number 5, put some soapy water in the pan you cooked your porridge. This will help you get the stuff off the bottom when you come to wash it. Me time. This is the most important part of the morning, and I really recommend everyone puts this into their morning routine. This is the time when you sit down, you enjoy your breakfast, and you just spend a bit of time on yourself before you go into your crazy busy day. You'll notice that I'm drinking the water before I've started eating. I try and drink about 4/5 of the pint before I start eating, just to give my stomach a bit of an early warning sign that I'm about to deliver a load of food to it. And then I just chill out and eat my porridge and drink my coffee, and then use the last little bit of that water to take my vitamins. So like I said, this is your time, so use this time to chill out, watch something good on TV or listen to some music, whatever floats your boat. Just make sure you spend this on you. Top tip number 6, and that is to make a to-do list. This is going to stop you from procrastinating and wasting time and become more productive. So I really recommend you make a to-do list. This really made a difference to me and made sure that I didn't forget things, and made sure that I did the things that I needed to do on time. After the to-do list, I check my emails and make sure I'm up to date on the world and am connected to everybody that I need to be connected to, and then if there's anything that needs to be added to my to-do list, I do that straight after. Then comes the visit to my thinking place. This is where I come up with all my good ideas. Once I've had a good think, I then pack my bag for the day. Tip number 7, listen to some feel-good music whilst you're in the shower. This is my little JBL Flip 4. It's banging. It's such a good little speaker. Has a really good sound quality. I really recommend this speaker. But I love to have some loud and happy and uplifting music playing whilst I'm in the shower. Have a bit of a sing-song, have a bit of a boogie, and just kick the day off to a really good energetic start. So sadly, due to copyright reasons, I can't play you any of the big tunes that I would normally be listening to whilst having a shower. But whilst you listen to me having a shower, I would like to explain to you my new routine, or my new habit, and that is cold showers. Ooh yes, cold showers. So at the moment you can hear me having a shower and the water is warm, so I do this just whilst I have a wash or wash my hair. But then once I've finished, I switch the water to cold. Using the Wim Hof breathing method, which you saw me doing earlier, I take 5 deep breaths, and then on the out breath I step underneath the water. So the point of this is to be able to control your breathing and control your body in the extreme change of temperature. Again, if you're interested in the Wim Hof method, I will leave details in the description below. But this is a super tip. I really recommend doing this. I really like it actually. It sounds horrible, but the adrenaline that goes through your body wakes you up enormously. It's also quite fun, and I think you end up, or at least I do, I find myself laughing and getting really psyched up. So it's a really good way to kick off the day if you're feeling a little bit sleepy. I was never one for the whole flossing shenanigans, but recently my dentist recommended that I use these, and they're like flossing thingamajigs. But whatever they are actually really good, and they work really well. So I do really recommend these, and you can pick them up from your supermarket, or I'm sure your dentist probably stocks them too. And Vogue. The final part of my routine is just to check over my to-do list one more time, just so I know where I'm at and what I've got to do. That is it. That is my morning routine. Thank you for spending that time with me and for watching what I do. I hope you got something interesting from that. One thing that you might be thinking is, I don't have time, I have to be at work at this time, get up earlier. I try and make sure that I get 6 hours sleep. I always remember Arnold Schwarzenegger in a speech that he did, and he made a comment when someone said I need 8 hours, and he said,
well, I say just sleep a little faster.
I understand though, everybody has their work and has a very busy day. So the most important thing is that you fit in the key things for you. Whether that will be just 10 minutes or 5 minutes sitting and reading, whether that's having a nice breakfast or doing a stretch in the morning. The key thing is that you wake up with enough time to be able to do that, so that you're not stressed and rushed before you leave the door to go out on your day. So thanks again guys for joining me here at Journey of Footsteps. Please don't forget, if you like what you saw, to hit the subscribe button and the like button. Oh yeah. And also don't forget to hit the bell button. That will let you know when I upload the next video. Thanks very much, and see you next time. Have a good morning.